Well, I've been learning Spanish.
Oh, go on then.
Yeah.
That's it. There's nothing else to say. You've just been learning it.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, Christ, don't expect me to speak Spanish, can you? Fucking hell.
I could barely speak English, mate, let alone anything else.
Fucking, this is the truth.
Oh, well, and another week. And actually, what lots of people won't realise when they listen to this on Sunday is that we're actually recording on a Friday.
We are indeed.
Yeah,
it's like time travel.
It is. So, yeah, whatever you're listening to, boys and girls, we actually did record on Friday and not on a mad rush on a Sunday like every other day, as you probably can tell.
Oh, yes.
But we do our best to bring you the facts and fiction of the world. So, what have we got this week?
Well, I thought I would take our listeners down a little bit of a personal journey. Nothing too invasive, but now that we're getting a few more listeners, there's a fucking fly on my screen. Piss off.
You know, it's Friday for you.
Oh, fly day more like, isn't it? Well, you know. But yeah, I thought as soon as we're getting more listeners now, they might want to know who it is they're actually listening to. So I looked up a little thing called dinner table conversation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's basically 5 questions that are commonly asked at dinner parties.
Oh shit! Are you going to ask me these, or are you going to answer them?
Oh, I'll give answers too.
Oh fucking hell!
Don't you
when
worry.
You said you had an idea for this week, it was like, oh fuck! I didn't think it would be this.
Oh mate, this is only the beginning. I've got more.
Well, guys, you're going to find out. This episode might be a good one for you. So,
oh yes. Right. So, question 1. There's only 5 questions.
Well,
so question 1. If you could have a conversation with anyone, alive or dead, who would it be?
You best go first, mate.
Yeah. For me personally, I've always been fascinated about Joan of Arc.
Right.
Because and people at home doesn't know who that is. She was a woman back in the medieval times who led a huge revolution with a huge army because she believed she could actually hear the voice of God telling her to go on a mission. And she was eventually burnt at the stake as a heathen and a heretic and all that lot. But a lot of people looking back, when they look at her like journal writings and things people said about her, they actually think she had paranoid schizophrenia.
Oh shit!
But of course, back then there was no diagnosis for that. She was there saying, "I've heard the voice of God," and she was doing all this convincing shit, and people were like, "Well, she's the one to follow then." So I always thought she'd make for an interesting conversation. The nutter.
Yeah, but that's a good point though, isn't it? Because obviously back in the day, if you was psycho going, "Oh yeah, I can hear the voice of God telling me to, rape and pillage or whatever," why would you think otherwise? I guess.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, back then it was scientific fact that God and angels and demons existed. Do you know what I mean? It was just the way it was. It was like if someone was having an epileptic fit, they were like they're possessed by a demon, and that was exactly what they went by, and the doctors went by.
Well,
it was all very strange back then.
Yeah, man. I think if it was going to be me, it would have to be probably Plato, the ancient Greek philosopher. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I can't speak fucking Greek or Latin or whatever they speak back in the day, but I think I would just love to hear, about life philosophies, and because he come up with a lot of shit. Remember when we said about the caveman in the simulation theory when they
right.
And the caveman could only see that. I'd love to see how you come to that as a person, like see the person behind the theory. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially with the amount of information they had back then, because with us studying like simulation theory and stuff, we've got an entire galaxy of information at the click of our fingers.
Yeah.
But back then, it wasn't something you could necessarily look up. It was something you had to figure out for yourself.
Mm.
No, that would be interesting.
And that's the kind of blows my mind, man, because you think like he didn't have computers, he didn't have a lot of information as such from like easily readily information from around the world, but he still come up with some cool ideas. So that'll probably be my geezer if I had to.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. And I feel like, unlike Joan of Arc, he would probably let you have the last after 8 as well.
Yeah, Joan's not letting you have that.
No, she ain't. She's like, God said I could have it, and I'll be like, oh, you said the same thing about the prawn cocktail.
And look where we are now.
Yeah. All right, question 2. What would be your last meal?
Oh, dear.
For me, it would have to be a fully stacked lasagna.
Really?
Yeah, I love lasagna. And I'm lactose intolerant and everything, but if I'm on death row, I don't give a fuck. I'll stink that execution room right out. But I love lasagna, man, but it's got to be done proper the way I make it. So it's got chorizo in there, a drop of red wine in there as well, some proper good meat, some decent cheese on top, throw in some nice mushrooms and shallots. Oh, mate, dangerous.
I'm coming round, man. That sounds fucking nice.
Well, yeah, mate.
What about garlic bread on the side? Are we not doing garlic bread?
You've got to have garlic bread on the side.
Oh, thank fuck for that.
Yeah, mate, that goes without saying.
So, last meal for me. Do you know what, man? I'm easy. Surf and turf.
I had a feeling there'd be a steak involved.
Yeah, I think surf and turf, man. But I mean, I'm not talking just fucking prawns or scampi. You know, like you get the crappy surf. When people try and serve you surf and turf with like a steak and scampi, it's like, okay,
yeah,
that.
Yeah, they give you like a scampi and chips and a 6-ounce steak.
Yeah, it's like, well, okay, you gave me the scampi and chips with a steak on the side.
Yeah, it's nice, but when you want to surf and turf, you want you want the job.
That's it. I want garlic roasted scallops and stuff like that, mate, on the side. Ooh. You know, I want it full fucking whack. If it's like
a lobster on there as well.
Oh, mate, shouldn't be doing this. I'm fucking smoking too much weed to be thinking about food, and I'm supposed to be on a diet as well.
And we're talking like Wagyu beef as well.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Gotta be done. See, those cows, mate. I want to come back as a Wagyu cow. I know after 15 years I'm going to get slaughtered, but up until that point, all that's happening to me is that I'm being massaged and fed beer.
Yeah. Isn't that the life?
It's not a bad life, is it?
I'm sure people.
And you get to be a cow.
Yeah, graze and just shit.
Everyone knows cows are wicked.
I just think it's such a good life, man. It's such a good life to be a cow.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so question 3. Top 5 desert island discs.
Ooh.
Yeah. For me, I'd have to go with probably Deicide's first album.
Mm-hmm.
And this is in no particular order. Static Age by the Misfits. God Hates Us All by Slayer. Or Transylvanian Hunger by Dark Throne. And probably just to mix it up a little bit, and just so those moments where I feel like chilling and just putting something a bit laid back on, probably War of the Worlds.
Oh, fuck me. Yeah, that's good. Desert Island disc for me. Well, God Hates Us All by Slayer, because I'm gonna be angry. I need God Hates Us All on there. Bizarrely, I would have to have Cradle of Filth's Midian on there, because
phenomenal album.
Yeah, that's it. Whether you're into your metal, your fantasy, goth, whatever you want to call it, it's a good album as it is. It is.
And it's such a shame they split up straight afterwards and released no more albums.
Isn't it funny how they do that as well?
Yeah.
Fuck. The other 3. I'll probably have. There's an album. Fucking really weird. It's by a rapper called Immortal Technique. He's a rapper in America, and he's like real life and stuff. And it's just something that if I want something completely different, like aside from in metal, I'm going to want something like that to listen to. I'm on a real binge for Cytotoxin's Nuclear Earth at the moment, so I'll be bringing that if you're asking me right now, because I'll be smashing the place up. And then
you're proper into that album at the minute, aren't you?
Yeah, I fucking love it, man. For some reason, that German, the German Russian death metal is just it gets to me. 5th one, I don't know. It's quite tricky because really bizarrely, like at work, all we listen to at work is like that shit now top 40s and like normal radio like that. And I think I might have to take just a CD like from now as a compilation, just so I got some sort of normality. If I was genuinely stuck on a desert island, I want something to chill out to, something to slam out to, and then be like, right, or something classical, or something that I can focus on, because I've got to get off the desert island.
Yeah, like a bit of Bach or Vivaldi or something.
Yeah, or like you say, War of the Worlds, but I didn't want to fucking say that as well. But
that's a phenomenal album. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, to be honest, mate. But people need to hear of that. People should be, and I'm glad it's got a little bit of time on the podcast because it is phenomenal.
It is. It's brilliant. It's one of those ones as well that once you put it on, you think to yourself, I'll only listen to a couple of songs, but you can't. You just end up listening to the entire thing, and afterwards you're just like, fuck. Every time you listen to it, it's like the first time hearing it again because there's so much going on that there's bits you didn't quite pick up on before, and you're like, oh, actually, they did something there. And
what was that? Oh, what was this bit? Oh, fuck me. Do you know there's a song on there I didn't even know fucking was on there when I listened to it back like a couple of years later. It's like, oh, fuck me, that's awesome. And I'm not being funny, Thunderchild is awesome. It's an awesome song.
Yeah. And if you get the old stage show, like for the DVD as well, with like Liam Neeson doing the opening, and you get that whole, it's superb. It really is. People out there listen to War of the Worlds, just fucking load a bowl, fucking sit back, get your Doritos out, and just fucking smash it.
Problem is, it's quite long, so you're going to need enough. You're going to need enough gear to have another bowl as well.
100%.
Because you don't want to be coming out. Yeah. Oh god. Sweet.
Yeah. So okay. Question 4: if you could visit any point in history, where would you go?
Egypt. Oh, sorry. You was going first, but I'll go to ancient
Egypt. No, go for it. Ancient Egypt. Nice. I like it. And funnily enough, mine's an ancient sort of time as well, but I would like to go to ancient Japan around the sort of samurai era, just as it was dying down, as like the industrial side that was coming in, because there was all that conflict going on, like the old ways and the new ways, and they were just sort of blending. But like anything, you got the far side of each of that sort of clash. It's just a very rich culture. It's very colourful and just it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's a bit like what's the film Last Samurai, isn't it?
Brilliant film.
Yeah, where they're kind of like the last of, well, obviously Last Samurai because that's the name.
Yeah.
Penis. But yeah, I love that idea as well, man. As you got that new industrial revolution coming in, and
Ken Watanabe should have won an Oscar for that film. He was robbed.
Yeah, we didn't. It's beyond me.
Yeah, another good film like that as well was the film Ran. It's a classic Japanese film from the 70s, I believe, but it's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely worth checking out. Okay, and question 5. If you could live in any fictional world from literature, what would it be?
Go on, you go first.
Probably Lord of the Rings.
Motherfucker.
Like Middle Earth kind of thing. Chilling in the Shire, just got me a pipe, got me tankard, got me fireworks. I'm set.
Oh, we're two alike, man. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, mate. Get me a hobbit barmaid, knock her up in the stables. Claim no responsibility for the bastard child that comes out of her. What a life.
God.
Fucking hanging out with wizards.
Yeah. What are you going to be, though? Are you going to be like a wizard there, or are you just going to be you in like them times, just chilling? Like?
I'd just be the hobbit version of me.
Oh,
I'd love to do mushrooms with Gandalf. I'll bet he's a trip.
Oh, fucking hell. Can you imagine? No, because you'll be taking you on a journey, and you'll think you're on a journey, and you're like, oh, fuck, I am actually nearly dying.
Oh yes, maybe that's all the unexpected journey was. Maybe
journey.
Yeah, maybe Bilbo took some mushrooms. They went off fighting a dragon, but then you look at it from the outside, and they're just running around the front room waving broomsticks and shit. Going, oh, the dragon! There's people watching them outside, going, "Fuck me! Look at these two wasters."
That would make sense if you think of. Sorry, guys, tangent because it always happens. But if you think of the guy in Lord of the Rings, you know the miserable bastard who's in Lord of the Rings. He's like he's one of the hobbits, and he's always giving evils to like Bilbo and his mates running around. Maybe that's why he's giving them evils, because he can see him just tripping balls on mushrooms and that.
Yeah, he's just being judgmental. He's like that. He's like that straight edge who goes to the pub just to stare at people.
Oh, what was that straight edge thing about?
I don't.
Is it still a thing? Because people had it them big crosses tattooed on their hands.
A lot of the hardcore kids are still doing it.
Is there still things as hardcore kids?
Oh yes.
I feel fucking old, man. You're talking about hardcore kids and stuff.
Oh, no,
Fuck it. Oh, is that question 5?
That was question 5.
Nice.
So now I feel like our listeners know a little bit more about us.
Yeah, a little bit more, but nothing at all. That's how I like it.
Absolutely. Can't give them anything too invasive.
Well, no, that's it. So,
I'm not going to give them an update on my colonoscopy. You know what I mean?
How was it though? Good.
Oh, it's brilliant. My favourite.
Oh, that's what we like, man. So, what else we got? Anything good? I'm having a little. You got
You
stuff.
want to know if I've got anything else good? Well, we've touched on this a couple of times very lightly, but I thought this could be something that we could get into.
Oh, you're going to touch it heavily.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Old medical practices.
Oh, sweet.
Yes, mate. And the first one, which is just great fun, is smoking.
Okay.
Now, back in the late 19th and early 20th century, when the damaging effects of nicotine weren't yet discovered or widely accepted, smoking was used not only for recreational purposes, but also as a medical treatment for various ailments. Now, mate, I've got to tell you about this cigarette packet these things came in. It says on the front, Dr. Batty's, Dr. Batty's for your health asthma cigarettes since 1902. And it says on it, for the temporary relief of paroxysms of asthma, and effectively treats asthma, hay fever, foul breath, all diseases of the throat, head colds, canker sores, and bronchial irritations. And it says along the bottom, not recommended for children under 6.
Wow.
Yes, Mike. Just imagine some 6-year-old coming out of a shop with a pack of fags going, oh, I'm gasping. Fucking hell, yeah.
All throat ailments.
For all throat ailments, mate. Yeah, it says here, all diseases of the throat.
Excellent.
Yes, mate. So, and this is Dr. Batty certified. So, it's got a stamp of approval on the front. Dr. Batty. Bloody hell.
I literally can't make it out, can you?
No. And of course, had to go back to the lobotomy.
Of course.
And just to give a full description of what it was for everybody out there, in the early 20th century, when methods of treating mental illnesses were scarce, an invasive procedure called lobotomy was invented. And despite the lack of evidence that this procedure, during which the nerve pathways in the lobes of the brain are severed, has any positive effects in the treating of illnesses, but lobotomy became widely used, and there was active campaigning for the effectiveness of lobotomy, and the spread of misinformation in the media led to believe that the lobotomy was a miracle cure, and only years later was the procedure recognised as one of the most shameful and tragic events in medical history. And this is all on a Board Panda if anybody's interested in looking at more details. There's another one here which I would not be down to clown with, as I'm sure you will understand. Dead whale carcasses.
What?
Back in the 19th century, a cutting-edge new treatment for rheumatism was introduced on Australia's southern coast, which was sitting inside a rotting whale carcass. It was believed that if a person stayed inside of the dead whale for 30 hours, they would be relieved of joint aches for up to 12 months. Clearly, there's no scientific evidence to support the healing power of sitting inside a dead whale, but it seems like people were desperate enough to try it.
if you're sitting inside a dead whale for fucking 30 hours, you probably will be, yeah. You're going to be changed,
probably
man.
Get up just to run away from the cunt because of the stink. Could you imagine?
As if someone goes, "Do you feel better?" You'll be like, "Yeah, fine, absolutely fine. Nothing wrong with me."
See you in 12 months. Not if I have my way, you cunt. Another one here we've got here, which is always fun. Corpse medicine.
What's corpse medicine?
Well, for hundreds of years, up until the 1890s, it was common to use the human body as an ingredient in various medicines. Which human parts were used to treat the diseases was pretty much all of them. For instance, the human liver was prescribed to those suffering from epilepsy, but the most common use were blood, fat, bone, and flesh. And during the 16th and 17th centuries, many physicians actively prescribed corpse medicine to their patients. And one of the most popular remedies back in the day was made of smuggled Egyptian mummies, where their mummified remains were usually powdered and used as a treatment for epilepsy, bruising, and hemorrhaging. I mean, I don't know what the research is behind these things, but I think it was a matter of, fuck it, shall we just see what happens?
It's got to be, isn't it?
It has to be. I mean, if you were a doctor back then, you've got to sit there and you can't just make shit up. You've got to have some sort of like medical reasoning behind it. So they must have just sat there and just thought, oh, you know what? Can't hurt, can it?
Fucking crushing mummies up to eat.
Yeah, into powder form just to give to people in like, probably in like water, I'd imagine, or some form of like alcohol solution, or like a formaldehyde or some fucking nonsense. Another one here was crocodile dung, where ancient Egyptians were really creative with the methods they used to prevent unwanted pregnancies. And one of their notoriously inventive methods was crocodile dung inserted into the vagina. While it's unclear whether this method actually worked, it obviously had very unhygienic side effects, and a lot of infections were caused. But yeah, to have abortions back then, they stuffed crocodile shit up your sniz. So, you know, things
it could be
have
worse.
gotten better. Yeah, it could be worse. I mean, someone could run you a hot bath and do the old knitting needle in the side like they used to do.
I don't think that's a medical practice, though, was it?
No, that was normally carried out by like nuns or like what they'd call back alley midwives or something. Yeah, they would run a hot bath and then, yeah, just like I said, just get a knitting needle and put it through the side of your stomach, and it would impale the fetus. They scramble it about, and eventually you just queef it out, I suppose. But of course, other old methods were also the wired coat hanger, and of course the ferret with a bit of string attached to its tail, which is always so. Crocodile dung ain't looking too bad.
No, you could say we could have gone back a little bit there.
Ooh.
You know, it's a lot less invasive.
Oh yeah, I've got a couple more here of these.
Oh, go.
There's a hemiglossectomy, and today we are familiar with hemiglossectomy as a procedure that involves the removal of part of the tongue, which is most often performed in such cases oral cancer. However, some people who lived during the 18th and 19th centuries were subjected to this barbaric treatment as an attempt to correct their stutter. Doctors believed that the tongue was to blame for their speech impediments, so they came up with a highly effective and sometimes even deadly method of correcting it with surgery. So if you got a stutter, they'd be like, well, I'm going to cut your tongue off. But the good news is you ain't got a stutter anymore. So technically worked.
And you ain't going to live longer either, by the sounds of it.
Oh, no. Not bad then, mate. Bloody hell. I mean, well, back then they didn't even know what infections were, because they didn't know what bacteria was or anything like that. If they couldn't see it, it didn't exist. It wasn't hundreds of years later that they found out what bacteria and things like that is, which is why it is a myth when it says that the pilgrims gave native Indians blankets with smallpox in them. It's a complete myth, because back then, to do that, they would have to commit bacterial warfare, but they didn't know what bacteria was.
Right.
They thought if you got ill, it was either because, well, it was just by chance, or God didn't like you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
so
yeah,
the whole smallpox blankets as a purpose sort of like bioweapon is a complete myth.
Oh, complete bollocks. There you go, everyone.
Yeah. So there you go, everyone at home. That was complete bullshit. And the last one here, which is my personal favourite, is the tobacco smoke enemas.
Oh, yum.
Yes. Tobacco smoke enemas were practiced in the 18th century to treat various ailments. Back in the day, this procedure was administered to patients suffering from headaches, respiratory failure, cold, or abdominal cramps, just to name a few. This method was even used to resuscitate individuals who were dying from typhoid fever or cholera, and it was believed that nicotine could stimulate a patient's adrenal glands, produce adrenaline, and revive them. But unsurprisingly, this method hardly ever worked. Now, it says hardly ever, which tells me it must have worked once or twice.
Oh, well, that's it, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's also where they're saying, when you bullshit somebody, don't blow smoke up my arse.
Oh, fuck me.
Learning even more.
And,
So those are my crazy little Little medical procedures of the past for everybody to enjoy right there. Imagine fucking putting a tube up somebody and you're just there with your old Benson and Edges going, just 1 minute. Oh, yeah. Got a pint on the go as well. You got a pint, didn't you?
How's that feel?
Yeah. You're already giving someone an enema with a fag. You might as well have a pint on the go.
I'm sure they're not going to moan, are they? They're not going to go, oh, that's a bit unhygienic. Could you not?
Yeah. Oh, are you drinking back there? That seems irresponsible. Fucking got 20 sterling up my arse.
Well, it is a bizarre picture to behold, isn't it? To think about it.
But again, someone had to sit there and think that someone's like, oh, I've got a headache. And he was like, bear with me here, but I've got an idea.
Hear me out a minute. Let me blow
You're
this.
going to call me crazy.
But
remember, I'm Dr. Batty. I know what I'm talking about.
Many deaths caused by...
Maybe that's why he's called Dr. Batty.
No,
maybe he did that.
Is that where Batty comes from? Like the derogatory term for gay people? Do you reckon?
Maybe, yeah. Because if you're a batty boy, it means you like doing stuff to the bum.
We're going to search that right now.
Yeah, I reckon there might be a link.
We found something out, guys, and it's blowing my mind. Come on.
It was Pitbull last year, week even. Yeah. What's wrong with me?
God, how high are you?
Oh, I need a smoke enema, quick.
Come on. Where is it?
If that was linked, we'd be geniuses.
Yeah, well, we figured it out. What was it called? Dr. Batty?
Yeah, Dr. Batty.
Dr. Batty. Let's see if it links. Sorry, guys, this is in real time because we're actually about to find something out.
Yeah, we're excited.
We're excited here. Okay, we've got Jamaican. Oh shit! Comes from looks like it's a swear word often used to effeminate man. The term batty man or battyman is used to belie. It's used to popular. Oh shit! I don't think it is.
Oh yeah, because it says like a Jamaican thing. Yeah, like you just said. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Jamaican.
Which makes sense why Ali G says it.
Yeah. Oh fuck. That was that would have been really.
That would have been something.
See, guys, not every time we bring mind blowing stuff. Sometimes it's just not Dr. Batty.
Yeah. Or the internet's wrong. Yeah.
I know which one I'm happy to go with.
Oh yes. Stupid internet.
It's just fucking shit anyway. On that medical practice thing, while you was talking about your medical practices, I found some medical practices as well.
Oh,
yeah, you know what it's like, because I was like listening away, and I thought, I'll type in old medical practices just in case we find something and we can just discuss or talk or whatever. And I found some crazy ones as well. Obviously, some are listed that you've already listed, but there was calm your cough with heroin.
Go on.
In the late 19th century, people apparently took cough suppression seriously. We're talking, I'm going to take me some heroin to calm this cough, serious levels. We know the Victorians were sticklers for social etiquette, and wheezing your head off was probably not considered very polite, but we can't imagine tying off and shooting some horse in the middle of a dinner party would go terribly well. So let's see what they did.
Well, I've been to some parties in my time. I mean, I don't know about these guys, but these things didn't really go unnoticed, and if anything, a lot of them they were expected.
It says, I'm trying to see how they fucking, how they took it.
Well, I know back then they would smoke a lot of opium, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
And obviously the poppy seed is where opium comes from, and opium is what heroin is. Where it's like, I don't know what the process is to it because I'm not that well read on it, but if I remember rightly, they also had it in like a liquid form.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah,
and it would have like one of those tipettes at the top where you'd like put it at like under the tongue or something. That's
the one. Developed by Bayer as well. It was.
Oh.
The guys who make aspirin and shit like that.
Everyone's got a sketchy past.
Urine therapy.
No, urine therapy.
Yeah. So it was said. So basically, throughout history, there are those who believe to keep good health was to wallow in one's own excretions. It was said to cure an endless list of ailments and provoke good health if drank. It was applied to the skin, and some even gave themselves a urine enema.
Funnily enough, supermodels still do that.
No, do they?
Yep. A lot of supermodels. I remember seeing it before, and I think, get your fingers at the ready, I think Beyonce did a urine diet for like a week or so. I know someone big and famous like that did, and I'm sure it was Beyonce.
A urine diet?
Yeah, because they say like putting urine on your face, because like the ammonia in it is like really good for the skin and stuff, and like for your hair. But a lot of people, they would say like, yeah, you can drink. I think you can drink a pint of urine safely twice a year or something. I was reading before.
No, you're right. You know, when I fucking sit and think, please don't let him be right. I don't want to talk about Beyonce drinking piss, and you're right.
It was Beyonce.
Yeah, Beyonce and Dita Von Teese. Is it? They're the most popular.
Dita Von Teese. That was fun as well. Met her.
Was she drinking her own piss that day?
She wasn't, but if I'd known about it, I wouldn't have touched her.
Is it actually drinking their own piss then? Because I'm just having a look here, and it's
apparently it flushes out all the inside, but it also, because a lot of the what you piss out is a lot of the nutrients you've put in your body.
Right.
So then they would basically recycle their piss and get all those nutrients they've thrown out and put them back into the system again. So it is, like I said, I think they said you can safely do it twice a year or so, like with a pint or something, because like putting ammonia in your body, like through your digestive system, isn't really where ammonia is supposed to go.
Right, yeah, sure.
Which is why the bladder wall is built purposely to hold it. Which is why if you get like shot in or stabbed in the bladder and your ammonia leaks into your body, there's a good chance that would cause a major infection, and it's just as bad as like internal bleeding or something. I'm no doctor, but this is just going by what I remember reading. But a lot of supermodels do it apparently, and it's, I have to say, just there's better things to do. I think have a yak out, you know what I mean?
That's it. Just open the salad up, boys. Fucking hell. Have I got anything else as good as that, I wonder, on our list? Bloodletting, but that sounds boring. We know bloodletting is.
That was the one where they'd release like pressure in your head, wouldn't it, when you were a bit mental or something? And it would,
that's trepanation, that one.
Oh, was that trepanation?
Trepanation, yeah, where they fucking drilled a hole in your fucking head.
Yeah, that was fun. Relieving pressure off your skull by getting rid of a chunk of your skull.
Well, it would release the pressure, wouldn't it, to be fair?
It would, but it would also give you like a soft spot like babies have. Oh, babies with soft spots, how freaky are they?
Fucking hell. Why would you do that?
I know, it's when people go like, oh, you hold the baby, and don't get me wrong, I love babies, I think they're wicked, but when someone gives me a new one, I'm always like, don't touch it on the head, don't touch it on the head.
Why would you put a self-destruct button on its head?
I know, and babies are fragile and stupid enough as they are, you know what I mean? Let alone put the fucking, like you say, a massive self-destruct button right on the top bit where it's like the most important. I mean, if it had a soft spot on the bottom of its foot, I wouldn't give a fuck. Like, you're not going to go walking anywhere. What do you care about the bottom of your feet, you knob? But on top of your head, the heaviest part of your body, where all your thinking's done. Yeah, someone fucked up there. Because isn't it like they say, like, so when it's there, so when they're getting squeezed out, like through the vagina, the tight pressure, I mean, it can't be that tight. She got herself in this mess in the first place. But like it's so the skull can close, can't it, and like fold in on itself, and then as it comes out, it can expand again.
Yeah, it's in 3 or 4 parts usually.
Yeah, almost like a weird like beak or like a flower head in a way.
Yeah, that's it.
It sort of does it. Yeah, it's very strange. I mean, it's genius ingenuity. You know what I mean? Like, as far as engineering goes, of like the old biological stuff, it's like, can she not give birth to just a solid skull? I mean, if she can get those shoulders and rib cages and pelvises through, skull sounds like a walk in the park.
It does make you laugh as well, considering how evolution, everyone say has gone. Like for something so fragile to be born, like for a human life that would have been born in caves or whatever, to have a soft spot on its head, because you'd imagine like back in the day,
that they're going to be squatting to give birth back in the day.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly what I was going to say. If they're squatting or they're leant over some way and having a kid and their head's facing down, I mean, I'm not being funny. You hope some people around, because if they ain't, I mean, we're pretty shit, aren't we? Because you need someone to help you give birth, really, I think.
Yeah. Well, because back in the day, a lot of the time, like, particularly the ones who were sensible enough, because a lot of people obviously would lay back, and laying back to give birth is the worst thing you can do. Yeah, for some reason, that's what we practice at hospitals. They know better than me, so fair enough. But I just know, like, back in the day, a lot of the time they would go to lakes, because when the baby first comes out, apparently it's not breathing as such. Like, so they would go into a lake, go down, like, have water births. Like, they would sit in there. Someone would hold their hands either side, and someone would be down behind her, like American football, going 21, 21, hut. And then, like, she'd push it out, use the gravity and the water pressure, and it would obviously catch and cushion the blood for them to grab it and then pull it up out of the water. But yeah, well, I think that also caused a lot of infections back in the day too, which is probably one reason they stopped, because obviously being out in a lake and you've got fucking your old Jack and Danny open to the wonders of nature, exposed to the elements, and you've got cuts down there, you've got baby shit in you, and now you're getting stuff in from the fucking river. And I mean, I'm no historian, but I'm pretty sure a catfish made its way up there once or twice. It must have happened at least once. Like a little catfish going by, and what's this over here, blood? What's that? What's going on here? And she's like, oh, there's a fish in my fish, or something. But something like that must have happened.
Stranger things have happened, man.
I have.
God, fuck me. Yeah, and I've closed the page now, so I haven't got any more cool theories, old time medicine things. But yeah, man, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, well, we like to go back in time here. We're all about the history.
Yeah, we try to do some crazy stuff every now and then. My research, or I say research because I usually do my research on a Friday night, so it's more like we're just going to research, on the fly with it.
Oh, we're taking them with us.
I wanted to do. Obviously, we've got some interesting stuff coming up. I'll tell you now because I've accidentally said that instead. But like, obviously, next week, guys, if you're listening, we got. I put the note up somewhere. What are they called?
Disturbed Paranormal.
Oh, fuck you're there. I've just closed the page. Yeah, Disturbed Paranormal, which is a group of guys. I think there's 4 of them or 5 of them. I'm not sure.
Yeah, 5 altogether, I think.
And they're ghost hunters and urban explorers mixed together. I think, if I'm catching the right drift of that.
Yeah, they're like a they mix an interest of urban exploring and the paranormal to bring you some of the best haunted and derelict buildings. And apparently nothing is staged and is all 100% raw footage. So things are going to start getting a little spooky next week.
That's right, and we've asked if they wanted to come on, and they're going to come on, and we're going to have a chat. It probably, in advance, it might be a bit crazy, it might be a bit hectic, because I think there'll be 6 of us doing it. Obviously, we're going to make sure it's the best for you guys and everyone listening, because otherwise it'll be a free for all. But yeah, they're going to come on, and we'll do some ghost stuff, and then I think I'm not going to get ahead of myself and confirm stuff, but in a couple of weeks from there. We've got another paranormal person. Is it V Paranormal coming on with us? Yes,
from V Life Paranormal. She's a psychic medium from Oregon, out in America. I think it's Oregon. I could be wrong. I'm sure it's Oregon. But yeah, and she's been a clairvoyant from a young age, and she basically sees ghosts and stuff, and she's going to come on and tell us about her life. And she's got her own podcast called V Life Paranormal, or Life Paranormal with V, something like that. We're very professional here.
Yeah, we could put links when they come on, and we'll spam the fuck out of it when it's there. We're not...
Absolutely, but don't worry, we're not turning into a ghost podcast. It's just these are the guests that have bothered to fucking answer us. If you're out there listening.
That's right, and
apparently
also,
ghosty people are polite,
and everyone else is not.
Yeah, but what else? Who else have we got coming on, mate?
And we've got a good one.
We've got someone coming. Drop the bomb out. Drop the bomb.
We have got a flat earther coming on.
Yeah.
With us guys, it's I'm just going to bring up the details because I've obviously haven't got them right here. Okay, it is a flatter tat. Is it flatter tat tat?
Flatter tat tat.
And yeah, it's a guy, a flat earther. To be fair to him, seems like a real cool guy, real polite. Gets back to us.
He seems. I mean, like, we're not out to get anybody or anything, but this guy, he seems to at least be passionate about what he does. He seems very well informed. He sent us plenty of stuff to do our research on and whatnot. And the guy, he seems really cool. He's got a passion that he looks into, and he basically wants to, just do his thing.
You guys, what it's all about. And that's it. It's going to be him just saying what he loves and what he researches. And like Aaron said, we're not out to fucking. We're not going to fucking. We're not going to rip him to pieces unless it comes to that. We're not out to get anyone. We respect everyone. If they want to come on to our show.
If we're interviewing people, we will technically be journalists, and sometimes in that position, you'd have to play devil's advocate.
Of course, because obviously
the people at home can't ask the questions while we're here, and we want to cover everyone's bases. We can't just sit there and say to him, "Oh yeah, everything you're saying sounds perfectly fine." Because if something outlandish gets said, the people at home are going to want to know what our actual views on it. And they know what our views are by now when it comes to science and being open-minded, but also being rational too. And this is the way we've got to play it. We can't just go around just flinging around ideas with no consequences.
Well, that's precisely it. And obviously, like we say, if anyone listening has any questions in regards to, I mean, the flat earther, once we get some ideas, when we get him on, if you guys have got questions you want to ask, it will be a real flat earther talking to two Kentish lads. So, it will be a real conversation. If you've got questions that you want to ask, no matter how fucking stupid you think they are, or if he's answered them 100 times, he knows what he's going to do. He knows he's coming on to talk his flat earth and stuff like that. So just ask the question, man.
We've already said to him that we're going to be asking questions that he's already answered many times before. But, of course, we have to remember every episode we put out is going to be someone's first episode. And not everyone looks into all the crazy flat earth stuff. Like I said to somebody before, we're going to have a flat earther on soon, and they asked me what a flat earther was. I said, well, what better? I gave him a brief outline. I said, but the real answers are going to be on the show. But he's going to be super patient with us. He's willing to get his point across. He doesn't want to, like we said to him, we're not there to belittle or shun him or anything. And he's relieved that there's going to be a platform he can speak to that isn't there just to smear and embarrass anybody. We're just two curious guys with questions, really. And who knows? Maybe we'll come out as flat earthers on the other side. But
you don't know, do you? Really?
Exactly. Stranger things have happened, man. People used to give birth in legs of catfish up their fannies.
And that's it. We're just trying to, we love talking about shit that we find in the week. But sometimes we want to hear, like when we talk about, like, what was we talking about? Egypt the other day. It's cool me reading up about Egypt, and my research can only be so much. I can only do so much research in the time that I have. Now, if someone has spent,
also knowing where to look.
Well, that's it.
Because the internet's so huge. A lot of the time, you'll type in something. I mean, we won't go into what it was we've been researching together as a joint project that's going to be coming soon. It was a big episode based on one subject. We won't give away too much, but Ad said to me, "You've got to check this out." So I went and did it. I was like, "Mate, this is really, really fascinating. Like, what made you want to talk about this?" And he said, "Oh, it's because of this and this." And I was like, "What do you mean? That's not what I've been reading." And so I was reading an entire different side to this whole topic, which had nothing really to do with what you were looking into, but they are both related. They are both surrounding the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So, it just shows how, depending how you look on the internet, is how you get guided, and you can just end up anywhere.
Yeah, and that's going to be a real cool one. Like we said, we're not going to drop the bomb on that too, because we don't know when it's going to be. It might be after the paranormal one, it might be later, but that is going to be a long one, like the what's it called? Simulation
theory, yeah. But now, because our time's been put up, we can do a full 2 hours on this particular subject.
Yeah, that's right.
So we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, it'd be good. Maybe we'll go for episode 10 for that, because that sounds like a good one to have as episode 10, if it fits in.
Definitely one that you fellow cannabis enthusiasts at home may want to get in on, because we're going down We're going down a rabbit hole on this one.
Yeah, man. So that's what's coming up. It's pretty crazy times actually. We've got really exciting.
And one last thing about everybody. Don't worry, we've heard your complaints. Yes, the adverts during our episodes suck.
Yep.
We get it. We are no longer going to be talking about our sponsors during the episodes. We said the exact same thing after with the last one. We said, ugh, don't those adverts really kill the fucking mood? And it turns out you guys agree with us. So for our sponsors, just go on any of our social media and you'll see who we're sponsored by. Black Insomnia Coffee and Rafe Energy. Their adverts are everywhere on our social media. Yeah, you know where to find them. You know what the promo codes are. You ain't fools. This ain't your first rodeo, for fuck's sake. You know what's going on. So when you come back, it's literally just going to be us and what you came here for. Tales from the Animal Kingdom coming at you. That's how we do.
And that's it, though. You know, we want to keep it
all content, not sponsored content.
That's right. That's it, man. And that's what we do. We try to keep it down to earth. Not all flat earth, I don't know, but you know.
But that's the thing, though. When we first started this, we were like, oh yeah, we won't do adverts on our episodes. And then what did we do? 6 weeks later, we did adverts on our fucking episodes.
Yeah, literally sold ourselves out because we got some sponsors.
We got a bit excited and we were like, oh, look, we're making it. We're the big time now, and we ain't fucking shit. And
that's it. But the thing is, like, it does, and it's really funny because we did say when we started that we're not going to do fucking adverts. We're not going to do adverts, even if we get them. Fuck me, we got 2 sponsors and we're shouting about them straight away. And there's nothing against the sponsors.
Shit don't stink.
Yeah. And you know, and to be honest, guys, you know, if you want to buy it, you fucking buy it. We're gonna, like Aaron said, we're gonna fucking put it everywhere. If you want to look at it, but not on the shows anymore, guys. That's it. I don't mind talking about our future shows. Don't mind talking about what we're going to do next week.
And the links will be in the if you're listening to us on Spotify or YouTube, the links are in the description. They're right there. You can move your thumb and find them yourself. We're not going to bombard you with this stuff. If you want to find it, you know where it is.
That's it. We don't get paid enough to fucking ruin our podcast flow with it, because the flow's pretty all over the show anyway. We don't need any.
I feel like we're fairly holding up our end.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
So, yeah. So on that note, guys, we've got we're not over yet. I've got some stuff that I've been looking at. Like I say, that's just a bit of.
I just don't know what's going on at the minute. I'm so excited.
That's just a bit of like news flash for next week. You know what's happening in the animal kingdom.
Yeah, we're planning ahead. We're letting you all know. This isn't just something we just do on the fly on the regular. We do take this seriously. There's stuff coming in the works.
There's a lot of work behind it, though, you know, as well. You know, I'm not going to
a good month in advance.
Yeah, I'm not going to bleed on and say how much time we do it, but it takes a long time to produce our ramblings.
That we give to all you tight asses for fucking free.
Oh, too good. Too good to you guys, man. But
the hours we put in.
Literally hours, maybe 1 or 2. But anyway, moving on swiftly. What we got? Okay, I've been looking this week at paradoxes. So paradoxes. Do you know what? I said to myself.
Define the word paradox.
Fuck's sake! This is what I was trying to fucking Google because I didn't.
Just type in paradox definition.
Okay. So everyone knows, paradox definition is a seemingly absurd, for fuck's sake, absurd or contradictory statement or proposition which, when investigated, may prove to be well-founded or true.
For example, the uncertainty principle leads to all sorts of paradoxes, like the particles being in 2 places at once.
Boom. I take it you define paradox that as well.
Oh, of course I did.
Good man. Fuck your ear. So
I knew there was going to be some big words, so I thought I was going to struggle here. And then it turned out absurd was the one that got you.
I can't do this. I don't know of all things why I decided a podcast is a good idea when I can barely grasp the English language as basic. But
and apparently there's also a really shit sci-fi thriller film called Paradox as well. It's got 4.5 out of 10 on IMDb. It looks that way. And looking at the cover, it does look shit.
Well, shall we have a look at some paradoxes and chat about them? Shall we see what?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've got Achilles and the Tortoise is the first one. And this is the paradox of Achilles and the tortoise is one of a number of theoretical discussions of movement put forward by Greek philosopher Zeno of Elea in the 5th century BC. Don't know who Zeno is, but that's a fucking cool name, so fair play to you.
That is a cool name.
And it begins with the great hero Achilles challenging a tortoise to a foot race. Okay. To keep things fair, he agrees to give the tortoise a head start of, say, 500 metres. When the race begins, Achilles unsurprisingly starts running at speed much faster than the tortoise, so that by the time he has reached the 500 metre mark, the tortoise has only walked 50 metres further than him. Stay with me, guys, because I'm struggling as well. But by the time Achilles has reached the 550 metre mark, the tortoise has walked only another 5 metres. And by the time he's reached the 555 metre mark, the tortoise has walked only another 0.5 metres, and then going like less and less, apparently. This is how they're trying to explain it, guys. Stick with it. The process continues again and again over an infinite series of smaller and smaller distances, with the tortoise always moving forwards while Achilles plays catch up. Okay, I don't understand that, but let's see. Keep reading. Logically, this seems to prove that Achilles can never overtake the tortoise. Whenever he reaches somewhere the tortoise has been, he'll always have some distance still left to go, no matter how small it might be. Except, of course, we know intuitively that he can overtake the tortoise. The trick here is not to think of Zeno's Achilles paradox in terms of distance and races, but rather an example of how any finite value can always be divided an infinite number of times, no matter how small the divisions might become.
Interesting.
Yeah.
A bit like what they did years and years and years ago. We're talking like back in the day where there was like some, I believe it was a Chinese emperor, and he asked somebody, I believe, to make, I can't remember what it was, but he asked them to make them someone to make him something. I think it was like a crown or something. I can't remember. But and he said, the bloke said to the bloke, "What do you want to be? How do you want to be paid?" And he said, "Give me a chessboard, and on top of it, per square, I want you to put a grain of rice, and for every square, double the last number of grains of rice."
Right.
And he was like, "Fucking deal," because that's fucking ridiculous. But when it came to it, it was obviously 1, then 2, then 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128,
Shit.
onwards and onwards. And this turned into the point where if you were to line up each of these grains of rice, they could go around the world and the moon and back again twice.
Is it?
Yes, it came to billions and billions and trillions of grains of rice. So this king who made this, or emperor, sorry, who made this agreement was actually in debt to this bloke for like ever.
So it is the same thing, but that is exactly a much easier way of explaining it. That is, you can just keep going in an infinite amount of times. Oh shit! Do you know what? I've just had a look at it. It's called the wheat and chessboard problem. Even though they use it with grains of rice, bizarrely. It says here that obviously, like you say, it's grains of rice put on 64 squares. The total number of grains equals 8,000,000,746,744,709,551,615. So that's over.
Like them eggs.
That's over 1.4 trillion metric tons of rice. Fuck me.
Not a bad go, eh?
Shit. And it's about
I've got to find some mug who I can go, just pay me a penny and double it per thing on the chessboard.
That's fucking crazy. Do you know what? My one was fucking, that was a long way round it. But that's fucking crazy when you think, if you put 1 penny and then doubled it every time on a chessboard, you're fucking minted.
Yes, mate. We're talking, you could buy Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk and make them fight like Rock'em Sock'em robots for that money.
Wow.
Yeah. And have you seen how many possible moves there are on a chessboard?
No. Is there a lot? Please tell me. You're googling, aren't you?
I'm googling right now, my friend. I know it's a high number. Yeah, let's have a look. 10,120.
Oh,
That's not as much as I thought it would be.
not considering there's billion, quadrillion rice grains.
What is the number of possible chess moves? The number of possible chess moves has been estimated to be even more than the number of atoms in the universe. Oh.
There we go.
The number of atoms in the universe is thought as many as, see, they've fucked up somewhere here. As 1081 or 10 multiplied by itself 81 times, while the number of possible moves of chess to be 10,120. I think someone fucked up on writing this particular article, but yeah, there's a shit ton of fucking chess moves you can do.
Fuck.
On 64 squares.
Yeah, man. So that's pretty crazy when you think about it.
Yes, sir.
What else have we got with the paradoxes? Because I'm trying to find some crazy ones. Because the problem is with the paradox, they're so hard to fucking explain easy. Because that's the idea of it, isn't it?
It's like the time travel paradox, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like the whole thing, like in Terminator, like if you get into a time machine to go back to kill the Terminator, then you would have no reason to go back in time to kill the Terminator, which means the Terminator would still be there.
Yeah, that's actually the word for that is Bootstrap Paradox.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's a paradox of time travel that questions how something that is taken from the future and placed in the past could ever come into being in the first place. Obviously, they've got an example here of, imagine that a time traveller buys a copy of Hamlet from a bookstore, travels back to Elizabethan London and hands the book to Shakespeare, who then copies it out and claims it as his own work. Over the centuries that follow, Hamlet is reprinted and reproduced countless of times until finally a copy of it ends up back in the same original bookstore, where the time traveller finds it, buys it, and takes it back to Shakespeare. Well then, who wrote Hamlet?
Well, yeah, that'd be Shakespeare, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but then if you've already... Yeah, but if... Oh, yeah, shit, that's crap. Just read that. If he buys a book of Hamlet, travels back to Elizabethan London, hands a book to Shakespeare.
He hasn't changed anything. He's just gone back and gone, oh, yeah, you wrote this, write it again.
Who the fuck? I'm going to have... Who said this? Professor David Toomey of the University of Massachusetts said that. I'm sorry, mate. You're a cunt. Because you've done that is rubbish.
That is a shit paradox, quote unquote, doctor.
Dr. Toomey? No. I'm not
You're
fucking
a fucking
idiot.
That. Who gave you your doctorate? Did it fall out of a fucking box of fucking Cheerios or something?
We're not happy with you. You just made me look like
shit.
a cunt. That is crap. So you brought up something good. I've tried to fucking come against it with something, and Dr. Toomey just... Oh, his name's Professor David Toomey, not a doctor. That's why. I thought Professor's Professor Twat. That's where I'm up now. Live.
Old Professor Wheato over there.
What a prick. No, that's where
I hate him, mate. I've never had time for him.
It's such a good thing with the time travellers thing, and I was like, boom, this is what it's called. Read it out. Wrong. Nice. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
How dare he? Dr. Toomey's mugged you right off, mate. Or Professor Toomey, even.
Professor Toomey, yeah.
In front of your pals as well.
Well, that's it. You know,
Cut him.
Get him. Get him
good.
Well, I'm coming off this. I'm going to go on to something else because these are from Toomey, and I think, well, we know what Toomey's like now.
Oh yeah, he's unreliable, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we all know the one, but I don't even need to look at anything for this. It's the you know, have you heard of the boat paradox? The boat paradox? I think it's called the boat paradox, where you replace a part of an original boat with new parts, and then the remaining. So say you had a boat, and you.
So if you replaced all the parts of the boat over a long period of time, it wouldn't be the same boat. Yeah,
but then say if you kept all of the parts you took off that original boat, which one is the original boat? Is it all the parts in the pile, or is it the boat that you've replaced parts on?
I think it'd be one in the pile, wouldn't it? It would just be the original boat that's lost its entropy.
Oh, Oh, there we go. Because I was just about to say, if you did it with your house and replaced every brick eventually, and then if you replaced all the bricks of your house and put the bricks somewhere else, then it's just lost. Fuck me. God, we're cleverer than Google today.
We are, mate. We're showing Google who's fucking boss.
That's right. Paradoxes ain't throwing us.
Yeah,
Paradox
we're all
ain't
over
shit
this. What do they think this is?
What other one have we got? What else have we drinking? Customer drinking. Everyone. What? Okay, the drink.
In the future want to know anything? Don't go to Google. Come to us.
Come to us. We're getting this. We know what's happening. Catch 22. Okay.
I've always wondered what that saying means.
It's a situation in which someone is in need of something that can only be had by not being in need of it. Oh, here we go. A soldier who wants to be declared insane to avoid combat is deemed not insane for that very reason and will therefore not be declared insane.
Yeah, that's right. Because if you're insane, it means you're unaware of your actions. But if you're doing it with a purpose, then you must be sane.
It's the same as with that guy who I can't think who it was, but it was a murderer who killed someone, obviously, and he was like, "Shit, I'm going to go down in prison for this," rather than fucking say, I'm going to say I'm insane. So he said he was a psychopath. He was like, "Yeah, I'm a psychopath." Now, where he fucked himself up is
psychopaths don't know they're psychopaths today.
Well, he had all of his tests, and his tests were all basically because the fact he even thought about saying he was a psychopath is a psychopathic trait of someone. So he basically trapped himself in a mental hospital for the rest of his life rather than the 14 years in prison.
What a tit.
Yeah, so here we go.
Yeah.
This is the easiest way of the catch-22 to explain. How can I get any experience until I get a job that gives me experience?
Yes, I've said this loads of times.
Yep.
About things. They say, it's experience required and all this lot. And it's like, but if all these positions are experience required, how am I supposed to get experience?
Yeah.
In the first place, yeah. It also reminds me as well about lesbians. Now, I have a bit of a lesbian paradox. Now, hear me out on this one at home. And if there are any lesbians out there who can answer this for me, please do. Because I'm not trying to be out of order or ignorant. This is just me being stupid. But lesbians, like, I'm talking butch lesbians here. You know what I mean? I'm talking that bird with the short hair from fucking Orange Is the New Black. That type of lesbian.
I love our PC announcements. It just feels like we're just skirting on the lines of like getting fucking banned, but yeah.
So these rug munchers, but yeah, you get like a butch lesbian or something. What I don't get is that they want to attract other women. So they go, their way of going about it is by making them look themselves, make and act as much like a man as possible. So they dress like a man, talk like a man, act like a man in an attempt to attract somebody who isn't attracted to men.
Yeah.
And then they use strap-ons.
Yes. Do you know what? Weirdly, I've thought about this as well. A couple of guys at work was talking about this, and it's really weird that a woman would be, because obviously if you're a lesbian, and we've got nothing against gays here, guys, or anything. To be honest, we just need to be we need to be educated on stuff we don't understand.
I go both ways, ladies and gentlemen.
Boom.
Aaron loves his trans girls.
Oh.
Yeah. So if there's any trannies out there who are down to clown, Aaron's your man.
Well, there you go. That's an offer you don't get every day, guys.
Yeah.
On it. So yeah, and that is another thing. Like, I would be interested, right, in an absolutely non-judgmental way, and I'd really like to know, because I'm just not fucking educated enough on it with the women when it comes down to that, because they're like say the pretty lesbian, so they look good, look like a normal. Sorry guys, but they look like a normal girl.
They look like a normal person, not one of your freaks.
Fucking careful, but it's coming across so wrong. And then you get the butch one. I think they're called femmes and butches, if I remember rightly. So you get the butch ones, who, like you say, are like, you know, they're dressed in the flannel shirts, the jeans, and the work boots with their short hair, face tattoos, and all right, mate. You know, fair play, man. If you want to do that, that's cool. But then, like you just said, was an interesting thing. They use phallic sexual stimulation in the you know, as a strap-on. Now, I'm sorry, that just is so close to. I don't understand what they're getting out of it. If they with somebody who looks like a man with the phallic sexual stimulation as well. I don't know, because it's not the same in the gay community, though. I don't think in the blokes gay community, because we don't go for. Like, you know, a gay man would not go for like a tranny, would he?
I don't think so, no.
Because he would go for one of those, like, you know, because
I don't all the gays I'm friends with, they're like blokes who are just with blokes.
Yeah.
And they're all about the cock. They don't have like, one of them doesn't like put a fake vagina on his arsehole.
Yeah.
He just goes straight for the cock and the arse. So, yeah, it's a tough one. It's a weird one. 'Cause I know there are lesbians out there who do the whole scissoring thing.
Yeah, sure.
Where they make their downstairs lips kiss and like a rub against each other, like they're trying to start some sort of weird fire. But yeah, it's just always been that butch part of it. It's like, I mean, maybe it is just the fact they know it's a woman.
Well, that's what I mean. I've heard something to say it's the woman in mind or something, like the woman.
That makes sense.
Yeah, like stuff like that. Because, like I always say, right, and this is nothing against women, guys. Before you fucking slate me, because I'm with a woman and, you know, who I do love. But like, can you imagine two women being together? I mean, I'm not being funny. They're either going to bicker all the time, or they're going to get on like a house on fire. Because
the highest numbers of domestic abuse in relationships is between lesbians.
Well, there we go. So they bicker like fuck. And I'm not being funny. I think the guys have got it easier, especially like the blokey bloke guys, because like, imagine having a hard day's work. You come in and go, oh, do you know what, mate? I can't be fucked tonight. Oh, do you fancy a bum? No, not really. All right, fair enough. And there's no drama. I can just see that as an easy way about going about it. Let's
put on the wrestling. I'll get you a beer and suck you off, and it'll be fine. And I just get in, you sit down, and like, oh, how was your day? Oh, love. Honestly, it's been really one of them. I just don't want to talk about it. Why? What happened? What did I just say? Yeah. Oh, all right, bite my head off. I'm not biting your head off. I didn't want to talk about it. And then you're asking me questions about it. I just want to know what your day was. It's like, yes, but I don't want to talk about it, love. Oh, you don't talk about anything. I talk to you about everything. What you talk about? Then tell me about your day. I don't want to talk about the fucking day, all right? And you're adding to it, actually, if anything. Oh, yeah, you know what? Go stay at your fucking mother's. Yeah. I thought you were leaving. Do you know what I mean? It's just, I've had this conversation a million times before.
You can't tell. Fucking hell.
But then, you know, you get some who are like just really laid back as well. I mean, I've not met them, but
the search continues.
Oh yes.
Okay.
But we love you, ladies. We're not out to get you. We make fun of men too.
Yeah, we make fun of everyone. No one is exempt.
Oh no.
There's one cool one as I've scrolled past at the moment. It's called the Drinker's Paradox, but I can't. I'm trying to get my head around it while reading it as well, which is a bit fucking weird. And basically, the paradox line is for the Drinker's Paradox is, if in any pub there is a customer such that if this customer is drinking, everybody in the pub is drinking. But I don't understand what the words behind. I don't understand that. I'm trying to get into that because I don't know if it's saying like if everyone in the pub's drinking but you, and then you start drinking, every single person in the pub's drinking. But I don't understand how that's a paradox. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't quite.
It says the apparent paradoxical nature of the statement comes from the way it's usually stated. It seems counterintuitive. Both that there could be a person who is causing the others to drink, or that there could be a person such that although the night that the one person were always the last to drink. Oh, what? No, come on. This is. I'm sure people make this fucking stuff up.
Yeah, I'm looking at it myself here, and people don't seem to give much more information than what you just said. Apparently, it was made famous by a mathematician. I'm not going to find out what his name is because I don't give a shit about him. If he's anything like Dr. fucking or Professor David Scooby-Doo, whatever his fucking shit name is.
Yeah.
From Massachusetts. Yeah, we're on to you, bruv.
Yeah, that cunt.
Yeah. But yeah, something like that. But I was thinking of another paradox as well. Now, again, if anyone out there knows the answer to this, please let me know. How do people who are colourblind know they're colourblind? Because if they're told that that colour is blue from birth and they see it as red, they're just going to see it and be like, oh, that's called blue.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I've always wondered that. And it's like this lad I went to school with called Matt. Shout out to Matt, if wherever you are, haven't spoken to you in years. But he always saw blue as purple. But I thought, but how can you know? Because you wouldn't know any different.
It's like do you know what? Because the only reason I know green is because someone told me green is green.
Yeah, someone showed me a colour and said that's blue. The sky is blue. Like I'm looking at my patch jacket with up on my wall. That's blue. It's the same colour as the sky, so that's blue as well. Yeah. So those two together, as far as I'm concerned, have been told those are blue. But for all I know, you might see that as red.
Yeah, but
how would you know? But maybe you're the one who's right.
Or is it just because the majority of people all agree that that is that colour?
But how would the minority disagree?
Well, maybe it's just a learnt thing. Maybe they've just learnt that. I don't know, because no shit. I don't know. I'm going to blow my mind because I don't know. Oh, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, it's not like you see colours on certain objects of different colours. It's not like someone's given you a blue ball and a purple plate. You go, oh, different colours. They go, no, they're both the same. It's like, oh, well, I'm seeing different colours here. That it's literally done by shades, not objects. So how could they possibly know?
There we go. Anyone? If anyone's colourblind,
yeah, please fucking jump in and let us know, because I'd love to know.
I ain't got a fucking clue. That's like the one that be like with like what is it? Like, you know, deaf people who can't hear anything. If they get schizophrenic, do they hear voices in their head?
I don't know. It's like the one with like blind people. It's like, can they imagine anything?
Oh, and what do they dream?
Oh, mate, what are you doing to me?
Isn't it? I'm just reading it. I'm just like going with the flow as we're talking. It's like, what the fuck?
Oh my god!
Can blind people dream?
Oh fuck about.
Oh no, it's freaking me out.
All I can imagine now is some blind person asleep just hearing like klaxons and cows going off with his heads. Just going. Like, I had a strangest dream.
You wake up to like still. I think that's the craziest thing. Like with dreams, we wake up to some sort of consciousness, don't we? Like we wake up and we're like, oh, okay, we're back here with my material world, and I can touch things, and this is good. You know, like. But when you lose one of your senses, that must be so well, I suppose if you lose it, it must be scary. But if you're born without it, it must just be so weird to experience nothing.
Like when you see people who are like blind. I remember I talked to a blind person before, and I said, this is going to sound like a completely cunty question, but it doesn't mean to be. And they were like, no, go on. And I was like, you're blind, but can you see anything? Like, is there blackness, for example? And he went, no, I just can't see anything. And I was like, but what does nothing look like? He went, I can't tell you. There's just nothing there. And I was like, so it's not just complete black. And he was like, I don't even know what black is. And he goes, there's just nothing there. And I was like, but how do you explain that? And the person who was with him, I think it was like his carer or something, she said to me, she goes, right, can you see behind you? I went, no. And she went, so on your periphery vision, does it end and then suddenly the rest of your vision is surrounded by black? I went, no. She went, that's what he can see.
So what can he see? Oh, fuck. No, dude, I nearly had a panic attack then. This way too strong. I literally fucking nearly panicked when you said that. It fucking honestly nearly threw me out. That's fucking weird as shit to think of that.
That's insane, isn't it?
Oh, fuck. Guys, sorry. I literally nearly stood up. I literally stood up from the table and was like, fuck this, like, gonna run off. Fucking hell, that is psycho to think that. Like, where do my hands go past my peripheral vision?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck
the simulation just runs out.
Oh, right, that's it. No, we're going to put that fucking vape over there, Da Vinci vape. Fucking hell. That was... Shit, don't do that. Don't do that again. That's psycho, man.
Yeah, it just sort of sums it up, and then you sit there thinking, fuck.
Yeah. No, oh, yeah. It is a bit crazy, though, isn't it? Because...
Yeah.
Like you said with your pal, you know, how the fuck do you describe nothing when he doesn't know what nothing is? Because he doesn't know what something is.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Fuck.
It's crazy, isn't it?
See, look, I've got like I find paradoxes online, and they're like shit, and then we make our own up and talk about our own shit, which is better, which is much better.
Yeah, say that, Professor Scooby.
Yeah, whatever your fucking stupid name was.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. I think that's all I've really got, mate, because these are crap. I'm just reading them now, and I'm about to read them, thinking, I don't want to waste people's time with this. I'd rather just chat shit about fucking peripheral visions.
Well, I've got some time to waste.
Oh,
get a load of this, brother. Do you remember some weeks back now? I believe it was episode 2.
Was that Bob Lazar? Bob Lazar?
Yeah, well, we talked about symbiotic relationships in nature.
Oh, that's our most popular episode so far.
Yes, and for those at home who didn't catch that, a symbiotic relationship is where two animals from two completely different species work together to achieve the same or similar goals. So, for example, we talked about that then. Sharks and seagulls work together, where sharks can drive these certain shoals of fish that are too fast for them towards the shallows, and because the shoals in the shallows know if they get too far in, the sharks can't get to them. But the reason they do it is so then the seagulls come down, they get what their food from the shoal of fish in the shallows, which then drives the fish back out into the deeper water for the shark to get. So on that, the sharks and the seagulls are working together so they can both get fed and have a meal, and that's how they do their little symbiotic relationship. Then, of course, we covered the people and the honey guide. I won't go into that, but people at home, Google humans and the honey guide.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
It is fascinating. But I've got some more here, and I thought I'd start with an easy one. This is one probably everyone knows, but probably didn't think about when I said about symbiotic relationships, and that's the crocodile and plover. Now, get a load of this. Crocodiles in Africa have a unique relationship with plovers, which are a type of African bird. After a meal, a crocodile will walk onto the riverbank, find a cozy spot, and sit with its mouth open. This action signals the little bird to enter the crocodile's mouth to pick off tiny bits of food that remain in the reptile's teeth. And plovers aid in cleaning the mouths of their huge crocodilian clients. The brave little bird's actions help to prevent infection from raw meat for the crocodile and remove insects that crawl atop the crocodile's skin. Therefore, the tiny birds get a free meal and the crocodile gets a free dental checkup.
That's a fucking job. That's a hazardous job, man, that plover's doing.
Oh, yes.
So does it eat it eventually? Is that what you're saying, or not?
No, once it's done, the bird flies off. And also, if the bird encounters or senses any danger from another wild animal while the crocodile is... Because sometimes a crocodile will fall asleep while it's there getting its checkup.
Right. And
it will shriek a warning and then fly away, which will also wake up the crocodile to give him a warning so that he can swim away.
Wow.
So it's also like a little alarm clock to have while he's... Because obviously, crocodiles... They can go on both land and water, but they flourish mostly in like the rivers and the water and stuff like that. So falling asleep on a bank isn't really safe for them.
No.
But of course, that particular plover might want that crocodile to come back so he can get its food. And if some fucking thing comes along and eats the bastard, then it might be that plover's only client. Who knows?
Fuck me.
Yeah. There's another one here for you.
What's symbiotic?
Warthogs and mongooses.
Really?
Yeah, now I always thought it was mongoose. So I learnt something new this week. Now we're heading back to the African savannah again here, people. Scientists in Uganda have witnessed a strange friendship between warthogs and mongooses. In Uganda's Queen Elizabeth National Park, warthogs have been seen purposely lying down in the dirt if mongooses are encountered. And the warthogs are given a grooming while the sharp-toothed mongoose picks off insects and especially ticks. Hence, the mongoose gets a meal and the warthog gets clean. And in some instances, numerous mongooses will nibble at the warthog's tough skin, even crawling on top of the pig if need be. So again, it's all about that grooming thing. One of them gets nice and they're tidied up, gets ticks and who knows what else taken off of it. And a little mongoose, little dodie, just goes, oh, I'll have myself a little bit of food. Oh yes. Excellent. Also here we've got now this is going back to another Tiff Tack favourite, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh. Gobies and pistol shrimp.
Yeah.
Now, pistol shrimp and gobies seem to be the best buddies on the ocean floor. As roommates, these two very different creatures uphold a clean and clear symbiotic relationship. Shrimp that don't mind rooming with gobies dig a hole while the fish guards and protects the shrimp and the hole. With its excellent eyesight, the goby easily spots predators and repays the little shrimp by alerting it to danger so it can hide. Hence, the fish and shrimp become roommates, sharing a mini underwater cave with each other. And since pistol shrimp are mostly blind, the shrimp tells the goby when it is leaving the home to find a snack. And the shrimp will then touch the fish with its antennae to remain contact as the two move through the water. As the pistol shrimp lives on the sea floor with little cover, it is essential for the creature to maintain a symbiotic relationship with the goby. And it has been witnessed that gobies even collect algae and other food items for their shrimp roommates. And the goby may also transport algae to the entrance of the burrow so that the blind shrimp can easily access it. And if danger is sensed, the goby flicks its tail as a warning. And in return for its protection, the shrimp provides the goby with a home.
Fuck.
Yeah.
So the shrimp's providing a home for the fish.
Yes, sir.
Damn. But so hang on. So the fucking pistol shrimp with the supersonic Hadouken is blind as well.
Yeah, so he's double badass, mate.
Jesus Christ. It's like Book of Eli gone fucking future.
It is, really.
Craziness.
Yeah, and the goby is his Mila Kunis.
Yeah. Yeah. See?
We've unlocked it. The Book of Eli is all about gobies and pistol shrimp.
That's it.
It was all symbolism. Symbiotic symbolism.
Oh, stop it. Yeah, this is... Oh, we uncover everything, mate. This is a piece of piss of this.
Yeah, I've got one here for you. This is our personal favourite, which I saved for last again. Now, people at home, you're going to want to Google this because there's a good chance you're not going to believe me. But get a load of this. The dotted humming frog and the lesser black tarantula. Perhaps one of the strangest symbiotic relationships exists between the dotted humming frog and the Colombian lesser black tarantula, both of which live in South America. Yeah, funny that, being Colombian, cunt. The Colombian lesser black tarantula could easily kill and eat the small dotted humming frog, but it chooses not to. Instead, the large spider allows the tiny frog to share the spider's burrow. Both creatures engage in a mutually beneficial relationship in which the spider offers the frog protection from predators and the frog eats ants that may attack or consume the eggs of the tarantula. And some spiders have been documented to even grab the frogs, study them with their mouth parts, to then let them go unharmed.
Damn.
Yeah, so you go along a little hole and there's a big fuck off spider in there and a frog. You know exactly what it is.
It's not the shrooms.
It's not the shrooms. It is straight up just animal madness.
Fuck. I've got a crazy symbiotic relationship for you.
Ooh.
It says here that crabs carry venomous sea urchins on their back.
Ledge.
Yeah, so it says here there's an urchin crab carries a fire sea urchin on its back through Indonesian waters. Crabs often carry poisonous sea urchins. So it sounds a little crazy, but there are benefits to having dangerous friends. They can protect you by carrying around sea urchins. Crabs can hide from predators and even use the urchins as weapon. And the urchins get free rides.
Legends.
Yeah, so that's another little crazy. I'm going to Googleize it so I can see a picture. Crab and sea urchin.
Tell you something else that's good fun while you're Googling that.
Oh.
There's a certain chemical inside pufferfish that get dolphins high.
Ah, I've heard of this.
Dolphins, yeah, they bounce it about and then to get it irritated so it inflates. Then they chew on it, and they don't kill it. They just like massage it, sort of thing, and then they pass it around. They're literally like puff and pass. This finger out, and then you've got a group of dolphins just getting stoned off their asses, just giggling away. I reckon that's what their noise is. I reckon it's them giggling because they're all stoned off their faces, mate. They're like, look at them, they're like, just throwing fish at us, man. I've got all the fish. You're my bros. You, me, Ollie, Nate. We're all bros, man. And you just got one floating fucking pufferfish like, it's all good and fun games for you, isn't it?
Just with a really like stern face on it, just sitting there like just fed up face, like, oh, this is my life.
Yeah, this is what I get into for going to Pufferfish University.
Oh, you'll be the most feared thing in the sea, they said. Oh yeah.
Mm.
Oh fuck me.
Pufferfish are crazy though, aren't they?
Yeah.
I love it when they get like really big and then suddenly they just start like floating off.
Oh, yeah.
It's sort of like, this isn't working out for anybody.
Yeah, they're like bumblebees of the sea, aren't they?
Yes.
Oh, I love bumblebees. I love every animal really. Well, not all animals. Mosquitoes, little bastards, can fuck right off.
Oh yeah, what are they even for?
I don't understand how that's even in the cycle of life at all. I'm sure
Why do we fucking need it? I'm just going to take some of your blood. Why? So I can live. But what are you contributing? Malaria. Yeah. Great, cheers for that.
It's not really a good deal, is it?
No, that is not symbiotic.
No,
that's monobiotic.
Oh,
I don't know if that's the real word for it.
Ah, fuck's sake! I come to you for pure facts.
You'd be the only one.
Yeah. Oh no.
Google monobiotic and see if it is a word.
Yes. Oh no. There's monobiontic. Is what I got. See what you get.
I put is monobiotic S1.5 GMINJ, which is an Anglo-French drugs. It was bound to be drugs, wasn't it? Monobiotic S1.5. I'm guessing GM means gram injections. So yeah, monobiotic 1,000 milligram injections. 1,000 milligram injections. So yeah, that'd be 1 gram, wouldn't it? So monobiotic apparently has something to do with syringes.
And nothing to do with life. Working without animal help. Oh, it's a shame, isn't it?
It is. I felt like we could have been on the same there.
Yeah, but as is life, as life.
Yeah.
Hey ho. So yeah, that's what I've got for our Friday night special.
Well, it has been a special Friday night as well. I mean, we dropped some bombs.
Yeah, man. We dropped some bombs. Give everyone a little treat. Something different.
And if you thought I didn't have a final question at the end of all of this,
oh, go on.
You were very mistaken. From your own experiences, if you could have one bit of wisdom you could share with the world, which could also be summed up in a sentence on your tombstone, what would it be?
Fuck, I don't know. Go on. What's yours? That's how you hadn't even thought of it yet.
Yeah, probably something like shit gets strange sometimes, so don't worry about
it. So you're talking like words of wisdom that I would attach to my life.
Yeah, like if you was like if you had like your son by the bed. I mean, you haven't got a son, neither have I, that I know of. But like, if they're like your final words, you're imparting this wisdom from your life onto the world that something you feel they could all go by.
I don't know, something along the lines of don't be afraid to fail, but I don't know, something like, yeah, don't be afraid to fail, but be afraid to try. No, or don't be afraid to, I don't know, something like that, along the lines of, you know, give it a go. You'd regret. Oh, that's it. You'd regret. What is it? Oh, it's in the terms of like, do it before. Oh, I don't know. Fuck me, I can't even string sentences together.
So like, a bit like a sort of like, take a shot even if you miss.
That's it. Yeah, that's the easiest way of doing it. It's like, yeah, you better to regret not. That's it. You better to regret not doing it. No, you better to regret doing it than not doing it.
Yeah.
God, that's a long way around.
It's best to try and fail than to not try at all.
That's the one. Fuck's sake. Do you know, that's what I was trying to fucking say to begin with. Oh, but well, that's
good weed though, isn't it? End of the day.
Oh, it's fucking ridiculous, especially with that fucking what's it? Thinking of nothing and nothingness.
Oh, that's how they get you, mate. I was talking to someone the other day about weed, and they were saying like, "Oh, never judge weed by the way it looks," and I was like, "Yeah, I don't." And then some bloke was on there saying like, "Oh yeah, but you got like the trichomes and the this and the that," and it was like, what a fucking snob. You know what I mean? If it's green and it gets me dizzy, I'm a happy fucking camper. I mean, what is it they talk about when they say about like these? What are the things they go on about? It sort of begins with a T, is it?
Terpenes.
What even is a terpene?
I don't know. I know that pine is a terpene, or it might be. Is it turpentine? Like this, an explosive.
Touching terpenes. Okay, so terpenes are a class of natural products consisting of compounds with the formula C5H8N, comprising of more than 30,000 compounds. These unsaturated hydrocarbons are produced predominantly by plants, particularly conifers. I know what all of those words mean, but in that order, I haven't got a fucking clue.
It's still. I'm having a look in here, and it's like, you know, history terminology, biological function. I'm not.
Oh, here we go. What's this? Terpenes are aromatic compounds found in many plants, though many people commonly associate them with cannabis because cannabis plants contain high concentrations of them. These aromatic compounds create a characteristic scent of many plants. But such as cannabis, pine, and lavender, and as well as orange peel. So that bloke say you can judge the way they look by their terpenes. No, terpenes about smelling apparently, not looking at it. So you're fucking wrong,
motherfuckers.
Yeah. Oh, mate, let's find whoever that. I bet it was that professor cunt from Massachusetts again. I bet it was him.
He would be, wouldn't it?
It bloody well would be. Let's fucking send him an email. See you, mate. Come on our show.
Ah, here we go. I've just had a look. Terpenes are colourless.
Is it?
Yeah, it says terpenes are colourless. Although very impure samples may appear yellow. So maybe you can.
Okay.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'll take it back then. So when they say colourless, are we saying that's like white or see-through, or?
I don't know. It literally just says terpenes are colourless, although impure samples are often yellow. Boiling point scales of terpenes are 110, 160, and 220 degrees. So
I think we could get a botanist on at some point.
Yeah, I think so. And just talk about.
Yeah, we can probably explain it, because like it doesn't even have to be about weed, does it? Like we were saying, like just down here, it was saying it's in like pine and lavender and orange peel and like conifers and stuff like that. So I'm sure any like botanist would be able to talk about what it is exactly in a way that doesn't confuse retards like us.
And that's what I mean. If we can't even understand it and read it, I can't expect any of you guys to understand it, because fuck me, I can barely read it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, we can barely read full stop.
Yeah, I mean, if you've listened to other shows, you know that this is good. My one fuck up was good.
Yeah, but it's like they talk about it, and there's like terpenes in CBD oil as well. The flower of the bud of the cannabis plant, and the oil is a full or broad spectrum, meaning it contains other components of the cannabis plant besides CBD, will contain terpenoids.
Ooh.
I'm guessing a terpenoid is like a I was going to say, is it like a singular terpene? But no, they're saying terpenes, terpenoid. I don't know. Maybe a terpenoid is like the cyborg version of a terpene, where you've got like androids and stuff like that. Oh, yes. That's another thing I want to look up, actually, while I've got Googling. We're on the subject of weed. What is the difference between sativa and indica?
Ooh. Oh, you mean like the chemical difference, or the?
That's what I'd like to know. Let's have a look here.
Because they have different effects.
Yeah, because I've put in what is the difference between, and Google, like, it's like little suggestions like mass and weight, weather and climate, Alzheimer's and dementia. No. Give me the important stuff.
Yeah, that's it. Weed.
Indica and sativa. Thank you. There we go. Both have different medical benefits. Oh, cheers, Google. An indica strain is generally associated with a sense of deep body relaxation. It's your fucking fault. I'm turning the ad. Both have different medical benefits. An indica strain is generally associated with a sense of a deep body relaxation. Sativa strains tend to provide a more energizing experience. Okay. Scientifically and legally, there is no difference between indica and sativa cannabis plants.
Sorry. Well, there must be, isn't there?
Paradoxes.
What? Hang on. So what? Are they saying it's in your fucking head?
I don't know. Maybe.
Huh?
Let's read that again. Both have different medicinal benefits. An indica strain is generally associated with a sense of deep body relaxation. Sativa strains tend to provide a more energizing experience. Scientifically and legally, there is no difference between indica and sativa cannabis plants. Well, indica or sativa, either way, as long as one day they get me a strain of cannabis that tastes like Liz Hurley's arsehole, I'm going to be fucking happy as Larry. Do you know what I mean? Until that day comes, I'm happy to just smoke whatever they give me. Like I said, if it's green and it makes me dizzy,
green and dizzy.
That's all I'm after. I'm an easy man to please.
That's actually crazy. I've just looked and there's no morphological differences between the two. I don't know what that means. I'm just like quickly scanning, but it surely must be, isn't it?
Well, I don't know.
I thought it was a different plant altogether.
Well, this is what I was thinking. This is why we need a botanist.
Yeah,
what have we got here? We've got some sort of chemical-looking thing here. Let's have a look. Because it seems like, looking at some of the pictures, they'll have like indica versus sativa, and they do look like they're very different. Okay, so let's have a look here. Okay, sativa, narrow and long fan leaves with thin fingers, long and lanky plants, and light blonde and thin buds, whereas an indica will have broad fan leaves with thick fingers, shrubby and stocky plants, and compact and firm buds. Okay, so maybe it's a difference in the growing technique or something.
Yeah, because they're saying there's no different. Is that what they're saying?
Yeah. Well, yeah, essentially, it seems that there's... Oh, well, hello, what have we got here? Cannabis is classified into 3 species: sativa, indica, or ruderalis. Oh. I've never heard of ruderalis. I've heard about smoking a bit of Sati and a bit of Indo, but I've not had me a bit of Rudolph, boy.
What is it?
Yeah, let's talk about the long thin leaves again.
A
ruderalis is a hybrid strain, apparently.
It says here low THC variant. Ugh,
it's not even weed.
What's the fucking point of that?
Yeah. That we've got here. Yes. Yeah, a lot of it's to do with the growing.
Wow.
And apparently the effects... looking at this thing, I think it's... Some of it has to do with, like, when they're talking about growing, flowering time 6 to 8 weeks on an indica, and a sativa can be anywhere between 10 and 16 weeks till they start flowering. So maybe it's just to do with the way it's... like grown or something, or geography or something like that.
Yeah, man. Well, I didn't know
Well,
that.
you can get different strains of lavender. I mean, in my garden, we've got purple lavender, and then we've got another one. I can't remember its name, but we've got but the purple lavender, their buds tend to be very like thick. They're a lot thicker and compact, and they seem to be more like there's more of them along the branch or the stalks, whereas the other lavender tends to just have the leaves on them with the little flowers coming out, but the stalks are more visible. So maybe it's the same kind of thing. So that is crazy.
Yeah, that's really weird. Is that there are two different species of cannabis, so they're different legs, but they're exactly the same. But they're just grown different.
Yeah.
They're grown different. They're just because like that's what they said, isn't it? So I guess it's like, yeah.
If I ever become that bloke who goes to a dealer and says, "Oh, if you got a nice sativa?" Oh, sorry, I only smoke indica. Shoot me.
Shocking.
I bet there's cunts like that.
I bet there is an all.
I only smoke OG Kush, I'm afraid, and even then it has to be grown at the top of a fucking windmill in Iceland.
Because it tastes better. Because the terpenes are better. Oh, shut up.
It has broader terpenes. And the stalks have a nice little purple tint to them, and they have certain amount of sunlight, only certain amounts during the day. They're very, very intricate regiments, and fuck off in front of a bus, you cunt.
Oh, dearie me.
It's the stoners, mate. No time for them with their hickory kickories and their fucking dreadlocks and the stupid hemp trousers.
That's right. Go get yourself some jeans.
Yeah, buy some jeans.
Oh, well,
pair of Levi's, you can.
well, I think we'll wrap it up on weed because a lot of people are going to switch off before the weed because they're not weed smokers. But I bet they are if they're listening to this.
Oh, they have to be.
Numbs the blow, doesn't it? It numbs the pain of it.
Oh, yes.
So, yeah, next week, guys, going to be a good one. Like I say, we're hopefully... actually, I say hopefully. We've actually confirmed. We've confirmed with Disturbed Paranormal, so...
It's going to get spooky.
It will do. Let's see if we can blow some more minds like the nothingness.
Oh, the ultimate nothingness.
Yeah, man. Sounds good to me. Well, guys and girls, be good. Until next time.